All right, listen closely. Holy! This video marks the day that I've bought my 4th Cadillac V-Series vehicle in my lifetime, as I've previously owned these that I'm holding in my hand, including a second XLR-V that I can't find the photo for. These have been some of my favorite cars that I've ever owned, and I just couldn't resist purchasing another STS-V when I saw this one listed on Marketplace for just $8,500. And no, that's not what I ended up paying for it, because I negotiated down to $7,500 for a supercharged V8 Cadillac V, specifically this 2008 STS-V. So without further ado, let's jump in. Well, from back here, the $7,500 looks well worth it. Look at how nice it looks until you come up here. And there is some paint issues, but it's kind of funny how it's laid out, because one side is flawless, the other side not so flawless. And it looks like this hood has seen some better days, like some almost etching into the paint, if you can see it on camera, and then how flat this fender looks right here. And really, as you're going to see, the whole reason this thing is $7,500 is, well, the miles, which you're gonna see as well, but the paint. The paint is not excellent. And it's, again, really just on this side. Someone had probably keyed the car at one point on this door, but the rest of the door is fine. The side skirt is fine. This door is nearly perfect. And then the next issue, which is some paint fade on this quarter panel back here, and you can see it on this pillar as well. The roof is nearly flawless. These little trim pieces here are starting to peel some. And really lastly, the bad paint is just on the trunk. Someone had done a really shoddy job on this trunk and spoiler. The tops of these both. The rest of the trunk looks pretty good. Slight clear coat on this bumper, but the rest of the bumper looks nearly completely fine. I love these taillights, these aftermarket taillights. A little controversial. Some people love them, some don't. I actually am split about aftermarket taillights, if I like them or not, including headlights, but on this one, I think it looks good. But you can see this side is in super good condition. Everything looks just like it should. But I'll show you on screen here, when I first got it, this thing had nearly never been washed, which is insane, and you can clearly see how much nicer it looks after the wash, including the interior, which we're about to take a look at. It was just so filthy. Now, one of the other issues is the key. I replaced the battery, but the remote's just not programmed, and if I can open it here, we will get that key replaced very soon. It's optioned with the red and black interior. Basically, I think one of two options you could do, at least in black. You could either do the red inserts or you could do the black suede inserts. But this two-tone interior is really cool, and the camera doesn't do it justice. While it's still a little dirty, it's in really good condition. The only issues on the interior are just these plastic seat bolsters, or whatever you call the plastic trim pieces on the side of the seat. And also, after a good cleaning, you can't see it right here, but this has a little tear on the back of the seat. Nothing that can't easily be fixed. In fact, for just a couple $100, all those issues are taken care of. And I vacuumed it a little bit, made it a little bit nicer, but we'll need to get an actual professional detail going to make it look how it should. Everything functions beautifully. All the steering wheel controls, the heads-up display controls, which yes, the heads-up display does work. All the AC controls. I mean, this thing is so luxurious. It's got the heated seats, of course, the dual zone AC. It's got all kinds of options, including, you know, old school navigation, controls for your traction control down here, sport mode, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, fully automatic windows, the sunroof works, and a really nice sounding Bose sound system. Let's go take this thing for a spin. And yes, when these have bad batteries, you actually put the key in the center console, out of all places, and then sounds pretty good. As I mentioned, this thing does have an aftermarket exhaust, and I believe no cats, but still has resonators and mufflers. Don't quote me on that, but that's about what I was told. And the good old check engine light again for the exhaust. I did scan for any codes, and it's just all these exhaust codes. These are so underrated. And while it just started raining, I'll try to show you why. These also do have rain sensing wipers, so that's cool. All right, listen closely. Holy shit. Wow, getting to the speed limit is fun. If I had a little better tires and it wasn't raining, it'd be a more consistent supercharger sound, but I've got traction control on because, well, these tires are about to go. So that might be priority number one. And trust me, that supercharger sound you'll never get tired of. It's one of the things I missed a lot about my old STS-V. It didn't have an exhaust or anything, still sounded good, but the supercharger sounds are just... And it's not quiet by any means. In fact, the camera doesn't even do it justice. I'm glad I got a clip before the rain started going pretty heavy, but I do remember when I did have my old STS-V, these were really good in the rain. Of course, flooring any car in the rain isn't ideal. These are really well-balanced cars, and I took these on some big road trips from New York City to Dallas, from Dallas to Miami and back, and really what a good car it is to take on long road trips. What I think about these cars is very different than I guess what most people think. These are criminally underrated, even with low miles. And they frequently go for 20 grand or less all day. And especially the STS and XLR-Vs never received the same love that a lot of the other Mercedes and BMW models did. And I think it's a shame. These are always going to be some of my favorite cars. It's a lot of car for the money. In general, these things don't bring that much money, and I'm not really sure as to why. A lot of people like to argue it's the Norris motor, but I've got to make a video on that. It's really funny how many people think the Norris is such a bad engine, but I've owned 4 Cadillac V series at this point, and 10 Cadillac DTSs that I've personally bought and sold, as well as a non-V Cadillac XLR. I have so much experience with these Norris motors. I'll make a video on that in the future, but really, it's kind of a lame excuse. These Norris motors are really solid. I'm not saying they're bulletproof by any means, but they're way more solid than people give them credit for. Really, it's the early engines from the 90s that gave it a bad rep. But cars like this, especially with the 4.4 liter supercharged Norris are incredibly reliable. As you can see, this one's made it 150,000 miles, arguably neglected, and it's still running really well. But this is a great opportunity for me to make quite a few videos about this car. I do plan to do quite a few things to it. Now, you never know how long I keep a car, especially since I seem to go through a million of them on this channel. But I do plan to do quite a bit to this car to make it back to how it should be. It's gone through some neglect. The paint, some interior pieces, and just a little bit of tuning and a revamp to the motor. Really just a nice tune so that way the exhaust doesn't throw a check engine light. And there hopefully will be some really cool videos to come with this car. I do want to bring it to car shows. When I had my old STS-V, I'd actually brought a lot of attention at car shows, oddly enough, because no one knew what they were. Or if anyone did know what they were just shocked to see one in person. So thank you for watching my video of the cheapest V-Series Cadillac in the world. Go over these speed bumps. You ever go to a stop sign and like there's someone sitting there and they're waiting for you to get to the stop sign, even though you're clearly slowing down, and they wait even when you get to the stop sign, and then they finally go?